Hey guys, hopefully you are all doing well. Prime Collections here. Well, today we're going to be discussing the upcoming New York City Comic Con leaks that have been presented by the Scarlet Joker. He did an updated list recently, and when he does this, this is usually what we're going to see at that Comic Con. So I wanted to share that with you guys here today. So let's not hesitate. Let's not wait any longer. Let's get into the world of Funko today.
Bleached out, these thoughts in my head. Drown out, you're not like the rest. Feeling like I'm dying inside.
New York City Comic Con this year is slated to take place on October 12th at the Javits Center in New York, New York to the 15th. And with that being said, this is one of Funko's biggest times of the year. They usually do a Fright Night, and they also usually release a bunch of con exclusives. With that, Scarlet Joker every year is pretty spot on when it comes to his list. So let's run these down as quickly as possible. I will try not to stay on too many of these. Some of them will require explanation because I myself wasn't sure who these characters were. Rounding out or starting out the list, we have Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach. He is the main character of the anime, so it's definitely not surprising to see a con piece dedicated to him. What that is necessarily going to be, I'm not sure at this point in time. We then had one of the main villains of the old school Care Bears, and that is No Heart, and he's going to be having an accessory basically in his book. No Heart was the villain back in the early 90s of the Care Bears iteration. He had the ability to change into many different things, mainly it was animals, and I'm not surprised to see this because they've been doing a lot more Care Bears stuff, and this is actually a really cool homage to that time of the Care Bears because it was during the 90s in which I was growing up, and I do remember this villain from that time. Next up, we had Darkwing Duck, and it's the main character, Darkwing Duck. I don't know which form they're going to do because they already did him in his classic superhero outfit. So whether that's going to be like another variation where he's in just his normal attire or like basically one of his different suits, I'm not sure, but we'll have more information on that when they actually announce it. And then for DC, we got a few things. We got a Batgirl comic cover. I'm not sure which one they're going to choose. It's kind of up in the air right now, but it's very cool that they are doing Batgirl instead of Batman, Joker, a lot of the main ones we see in that Batman universe. We also got Big Barda from DC. This was originally one of the henchmen of Darkseid, and they actually left Darkseid and kind of went on their own and actually became a hero eventually. So that's very cool to see that. And then, of course, we've got Harley Quinn winking. I'm not sure if this is going to be Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, like basically Margot Robbie's character, or if this specifically is just going to be Harley Quinn from one of the different animated shows. And the first thing I will be going after from Demon Slayer is that Makomo and Sabito 2-pack. They have actually announced these characters as commons already, so it'll be interesting to see what variations they provide with this 2-pack, and I definitely think it will be one of the items that will sell out from this con. We also got a Doctor Who piece, and that is the 14th Doctor. That is David Tennant's Doctor. He was originally the 10th Doctor, but as with Doctor Who, they do a lot of reincarnation, and David Tennant is reprising his role as the Doctor in this, and it's very cool to see him getting a Funko Pop in this regard. And then we had a couple things announced from Dungeons & Dragons. One I think is very cool, and that's Lolth, who is basically the queen of spiders in Dungeons & Dragons lore. Very interesting character. I'll be very intrigued to see if this is actually a supersized pop, like a 6-inch. And then we had an owlbear announced. The one thing that bothers me about this is there was already an owlbear done just recently with the recent Dungeons & Dragons NFT pops. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I hope they make this one different enough that it's not very similar to the NFT pop, because when they make NFT pops, it would be very nice if there wasn't a lot of similarity to something you would get out of like a con piece. We then got Steve Urkel from Family Matters. They recently did a Family Matters wave where they had Urkel basically in his normal outfit, where Chase was Stefan Urkel. I think for the con piece, they're going to have him in his lab coat with his goggles on top of his head, because that's one of his classic attires that you saw throughout the years in that show. And then we had two Freddy Funkos announced. We've got Freddy Funko Bones with Mask and Freddy Funko Bones with Mask Blacklight. If I had to guess, the Mask one without the Blacklight is going to be the one that they offer on the Funko shop, and the one with the Blacklight variant will be the one that will be the in-person convention piece. We've already had kind of a couple Freddys that sound familiar to this, and I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do to be different, because the biggest thing for me is if you're going to do specific con piece Freddy Funkos, make them unique and make them unsimilar so that people want them, because Freddy Funko is that iconic piece or that iconic character that is the mascot of Funko. So please do this justice and don't just make it a reprint, copy and paste piece. We then got Garfield with his cauldron. Basically, the only thing I could find was a picture of Garfield with a cauldron. I don't know necessarily where it's from. Maybe it's a Halloween iteration. If you'll notice with this list, there's a lot of Halloween pieces because it is right before Halloween. And they definitely steered into that this year, and I think that that's a good thing. We then had Spangler's Spirit from Ghostbusters Afterlife. If you watch the movie, at the very end of the movie, kind of spoilers, Egon Spangler actually came back as a spirit in this. And I think they're finally doing a piece for that. And I think that's very cool as a homage to the character. And it was a very awesome moment in that movie. We got the High Evolutionary from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He was a great villain in that movie, and I think it's finally time that they do a pop for him. And Marvel pops always do really well, especially con pieces. We then had the Key Demon from Insidious. Very gruesome looking monster. They've been doing horror pops for a while now. I think this will be a great addition for all you horror collectors out there. Next up, we had Inuyasha in his human form. That's when he's got his black hair before he's transformed into a demon form. I think this is a good choice because they haven't done this yet. And then we've got Shippo with his horse from Inuyasha as well. I think this will be another one of those con pieces that will be highly sought after. And I think this one may sell out as well because it's just very cute and very iconic. Next up, lately with the WB100, they've done a lot of crossovers for their Looney Tunes characters, and they're doing that again with this. They're doing a Harry Potter crossover in which Bugs Bunny is going to be in a Gryffindor outfit, Lola Bunny is going to be in a Ravenclaw outfit, Porky Pig's going to be in a Hufflepuff outfit, and Sylvester is going to be in a Slytherin outfit. I'll be interested to see how these do because these crossover pieces I haven't necessarily liked, so I'm hoping these are done really well, and I hope that they do well. Next up, we've got the Goblin Queen from Marvel. I had to do a little bit of research on this. This character was actually a DNA copy of Jean Grey that actually Scott Summers or Cyclops fell in love with and figured out that she was actually like a member of Mr. Sinister's group and basically had like an arc in the X-Men series. So it's very interesting to see that they kind of took a deep cut character, but I do like that because I've always talked about adding new characters to collectors' hands because that's what they want. They just don't want the same character remolded 1,000 times. Give me new characters to add to my collection because that increases the variety of my collection. We also got a 25th Classics Captain America. You know how they've been doing those like kind of tin cases? We're gonna get one for Captain America. I'm not necessarily surprised because they're trying to do a lot of classic pieces with this that people want that they necessarily can't get anymore because they are highly expensive. We then got a James Harden figure from the NBA. It's very interesting that they only did one NBA figure, but I can understand why they did James Harden. He does do a lot of high scoring. He's a prominent star in the NBA. So it'll be very interesting to see who gets this as an exclusive and how it does in terms of sales. We also got the classic mascots in Polly Pigeon and Pizza Rat. They always do these every year, so it'll be very interesting to see what the variety is on those again. We then have the second thing and the only other thing I'll be going for in this, and that is the Monkey D. Luffy Wanted poster. Now, I'm interested to see which version of the Wanted poster they do. I really hope they do the 400,000 one, like the old one, like the one in the very beginning of the show when he first got his Wanted poster, because that would be very extremely cool to see. However, I think they'll do one from the later series. But this one will sell out. The Goldie Roger one did. I'm interested to see how much stock they put on the website. And good luck to you if you are going for this one because the Goldie Roger sold out in literally 30 seconds last time. I'll be very interested to see how their site handles this drop. We then have Soldier 76 from Overwatch 2. It's another video game pop from this specific franchise. I'm not surprised. I actually saw Winston at GameStop the other day. So we're starting to see Overwatch 2 pops arrive in stores. We then have Tinkerbell from Peter Pan and Wendy. This is the new Peter Pan and Wendy. I want to say it's either a TV show or movie, and this is that Tinkerbell from that movie or TV show, so it's very cool to see that here. You Pokemon collectors, we have our first ever Arceus and Dialga pops. The problem with this is that these are 10-inch pops. And I understand that these are legendaries. They are giant creatures in Pokemon lore, but the price and the placement. See, as a Funko collector, you only have so much space, and with these are rather large, and they're going to be about probably 40 to 50 bucks a piece. So if you're a Pokemon collector, God bless you because you're going to be spending some money that's gone. And then we've got a classic moment from Raiders of the Lost Ark. We have Indiana Jones in his snake pit. This moment has been memed, made fun of so many times, so it's not surprising to see that it's getting a Funko Pop moment. We then have Run DMC. I'm thinking another album cover, maybe like a 3-pack. I'm not specifically sure what that's going to be. For you Star Trek collectors, we then have Geordi LaForge. He is the man who is, I want to say, he's the navigator. I can't remember because I haven't seen Star Trek in a long time, but he's got the visor. He's played by LeVar Burton. He's a classic character. I don't know if they've done a pop of him yet. We then have Darth Maul with cybernetic legs. This is interesting because I've seen two variations of this, where he has the two legs that remind me of kind of the General Grievous, and then there's kind of like spider legs. So I'll be interested to see which one of these they do. Probably just be the two legs. We then have Kendall Roy from the classic hit show, or the hit show Succession on Max. This is one of the title characters of that show. I've actually never seen an episode, so I don't know too much about this character. We then have the Toxic Avenger, and it is the title character, the Toxic Avenger. This was a movie that was not the greatest in terms of production or budget, but has become kind of a cult classic over the years, and they are rebooting it. So I'm not surprised to see them actually doing a pop of this now, trying to hit on that nostalgia, plus the fact that it is getting a reboot. We then have Ray Fillet from the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. This was a villain in that new animated movie. I think it was played by Post Malone, if I'm correct, but I could be wrong. We then have Armand from the Vampire Chronicles. I don't know too much about this character because I never watched this show. And then filling out our pops, we have the Dark Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I really wanted to focus on talking about the pops today, but I will talk about the sodas very quickly, because for me, I'm not collecting sodas too much anymore. I'm kind of stepping away from that, but I will talk about the ones that were announced here. We have a Heavy Metal Halloween 4-pack for Bitty Pop collectors, and here are the rundown of the sodas. We've got Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'm getting a Casper soda. We've got a 3-liter Willy Wonka soda. We've got a Trick or Treat Freddy Funko soda. We have a Top Cat soda. We have a Halloween Stitch. We have an Alan Frog and Edgar Frog from the Lost Boys. We have a Mork soda from Mork and Mindy. We have Momo Yaoyorozu from My Hero Academia. We've got a Sasuke soda from Naruto. We've got a Santa Claus soda from Nightmare Before Christmas, a Lord Zed soda from Power Rangers, and a Scooby-Doo Rewind figure from Scooby-Doo. I think these are all great soda choices if you're a soda collector. If I was going to go for any, I would probably go for the Sasuke or the Momo Yaoyorozu. And potentially, I might also go for the Sandy Claus because they haven't done a soda of him yet, and I think that that's a great choice here. But yeah, guys, I tried to cover everything on this list. With every con, it's always a very long list of stuff that they release, but there's always something for every collector. For me personally, I will be trying to go for that Demon Slayer 2-pack, and I will be trying to go for that One Piece Luffy wanted poster. What about you guys? Is there anything on this list that you're going to be going after? Let me know down in the comments below, and I wish you the best of luck when these do officially launch, if they are announced for New York City Comic Con. Thank you so much for sticking around through the entirety of the video. I truly appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton. And as always, I'll see you guys later.